All right, Jeff, so we're here at Whetstone Creek Conservation Area, and we're in the process of doing prairie restoration efforts. So why are we doing this? What's the point behind this and so forth?
Well, this area was historically prairie, part of a big prairie unit called the Grand Prairie, and it went from here all the way to Columbia up into the Iowa border. Here in Williamsburg, the local town, it was called the 9 Mile Prairie. And this is this big, broad, flat, rolling plain. And the past couple of 100 years, it had been in cropping. It's been plowed a lot. We lost that historical prairie. And the property owner, we purchased this ground in 1976. The property owner previously had all of this in grazing. And we've had a lot of this in crops and in old field or in prairie, but we had a lot of trees, and a lot of shrubs, and a lot of fence rows. And the biggest problem we have with all those little fields is that we get a problem plant called Sericea lespedeza, and it can invade. And in order to get control of that species, we wanted to clear off all these trees and shrubs and start from scratch.
And how did you clear off all that? I mean, and put it in piles. What did you use, and how was that project kind of started?
Yeah, our Missouri Department of Conservation staff, infrastructure management, they used dozers and excavators to clear the land. They cleared the trees and shrubs and put them into piles, and we're going to be burning those, and then we'll start a lot of this into new cropping system starting this year into Roundup Ready corn and Roundup Ready soybeans.
And why do you do that? Why do we have had cleared all this, the trees and shrubs and so forth, and why do we jump to right in putting in the crops you were talking?
Yeah, the main reason why we're doing that is because we want to control a plant called Sericea lespedeza. It's an exotic invasive species that was brought over in the early 1900s, and we found it to be a terrible, terrible plant in regards of grasslands. It's a major problem across the nation. And so with that cropping, the Roundup Ready corn and soybeans, it continually gets after that seed bank and doesn't allow that plant to take hold. We want a minimum of 5 to 6 years of cropping before we put it back into reconstructed prairie, and we found best success. The starting area, Prairie Fork, is where we got our knowledge from that. We reconstructed over 600 acres of prairie by doing that method.
And that benefits to get that invasives out of there, correct?
Yeah, correct. It doesn't let it take hold, and after 5 to 6 years of cropping, we can go back and plant it to prairie, really high diversity mix, about 150 species of plants, and we don't have that Sericea come back hardly at all.
How large is this project? I mean, how big is Whetstone Creek Conservation Area you're working on this prairie restoration project?
Yeah, Whetstone Creek Conservation Area is 5,200 acres. Historically, we probably had 1,000 or 2,000 of those acres be native prairie. This project is starting out 300 to 500 acres, and we can always expand there from that point, but right now we're starting with 300 to 500 acres.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jeff. And Jeff, yeah, people tuning in here, if they want to do something like this on their own property, where can they find more information? Who should they get in contact with?
Yeah, a good start for any private land work you want to do is get a hold of your private land conservationist. We have one. It's a biologist like myself in every county in the state, and you want to manage your habitat to what it was historically. That's what we encourage. So if you have areas that used to be prairie, you can have a small prairie of 1 acre, or you can have 500 acres like we're doing here. But the key is to get it started, get the vegetation that was already on there off, which is probably going to be fescue. A lot of our grasslands here in Missouri are fescue. And so that's what we're doing here. We're going to be treating a lot of this fescue as well. And the 1 acre could be just a few species, 20 to 30 species, or you could do what we're going to try to do is about 150 to 180 species. And it just has to do with the cost, whatever your budget needs. But we do have cost share assistance, and cost share assistance through those private land conservationists could be upwards of 75% cost share. So like, let's say it costs $500 for your 1 acre prairie seed. The state cost share will cover 75% of that bill.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it very much so, Jeff. And I think I want to echo what he said. If you would like to learn more about how you can get help, cost share programs, or if you'd like to learn more about who you should talk to at the Missouri Department of Conservation, you can find your private lands conservationist on our website at mdc.mo.gov, and in the search bar just type in private lands conservationist and you'll be able to pull up them by your county and get that information from there. Thanks for tuning in today on Habitat Hints. You all have a great rest of the day.